Everybody vamos, put up your manos. Members attempting unite Chicanos, Latinos, and Los Estados Unidos. Don't care if you're Ricans or even Cubanos. Look at the coaches. We have more common, don't let them divide. These suckers are vultures. Either we standing together or better be standing aside. That was the time, don't know about you, but I'm gonna ride. We gotta climb, fight for your Vegas, man, where was your pride? Where were the gunners that you got inside? Look how our ancestors came to this country. They tried to be living the American dream. Don't throw it away. They promise you money and got your aging for the machine. Pick a new team, you bless socialism, but that is a system that you wanna bring. You need to think, we gotta fight communism, cause it look like we on the brink. Connect on the links, so one party system is taking the power from all of the people. We need to think, when will you listen, these people are evil and want you to sequel, so what is your plan? Hand in hand, we're standing together, cause it's the one never to do what you can. Please understand, we gotta do better, so walkers remember that we took a stand. Escúchame, 24 es el año, si se puede. Lucha, lucha por la libertad. Órale, vamos.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey,
Everybody, welcome back to Latino Free Minds. Shit, shout out to Carlos for the verse on that one. Every time I hear that verse, I just like I'm about my head. So shout out to Carlos, he killed that. How you doing, man?
Good.
Cool.
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Allergies have been kind of crazy out here. How have they been over there?
Pretty crazy. It's windy. It's
Yeah.
spring. All the almonds and everything kind of blooming over here. So Gloria actually had to leave work early because allergies were kicking her butt. So
Yeah. Yesterday I was like, nah, I gotta go home too. I had to be inside. Um, Shout out to Nick Wilson. He's tuning in on Instagram. He said, "What's up?" But yeah, yesterday I had to end early too because my nose was running for like, I don't know, I felt like an hour. Like I was just constantly like blowing my nose, and yeah, I couldn't. I was like, I had to tap out.
yeah, I don't get allergies, and I got a little tickle going
Ooh.
on too. So it's bad if it's affecting me. So
No, but it was had a good weekend. We went to Raw Farms.
mm,
It's a pretty big brand here in California, but it's right here in Fresno. It's like 20 minutes from where we live, and they
okay.
had their camping. They call it camping with cows event. So you kind of camp out there. You stay the night out there.
You guys
Um,
stayed the night?
no, we didn't. We came back home, but we came back home pretty late. Late at
Oh,
night.
okay.
Stayed there all day. Um, but it's called camping with cows, and you kind of get to see the cows and all that as a bunch of people go. They have their products, and it was cool. It's a pretty cool environment. A bunch of little kids playing on like um just families. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playing out there. They had all kinds of, what do you call them? The What's that thing you have with the bean bags? Oh my god, corn, like the cornhole or
Oh,
whatever it's called.
cornhole. The cornhole
Yeah.
thing. Hmm.
So it was cool. It was a fun event. They had a live band. Um, but yeah, it's cool to kind of see like that part of what would you call it? California. Just a dairy farm. I got to meet Anthony in person. He was out there too, Anthony Cabasa. So
Okay.
shout out to him. He's out there. He went straight from Fresno to UCLA. Like he went straight to work. So that shout out to him. And he's doing 75 hard, so he had to do a workout outdoors somewhere in between there. So you know,
Oh, wow.
dude's committed. So shout out to him. But no, the event was cool, man. Um, I think I told you guys a while ago. We started just drinking raw milk like a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're the biggest brand out here in California. I'm trying to get the owner on because just to kind of talk about the product and how they have a hard time selling in other states. I don't think they can sell in any other state. They can only sell here. So because the FDA won't approve it or something like that.
Of course they won't.
So just kind of want to pick his brain on that stuff. I think that'd be an interesting conversation. A little different than what we normally talk about, but still
Well,
important.
the government's still involved in what we eat, what they FDA
Yeah,
allow, deems okay to buy, sell, consume, and all that good stuff. So, but
yeah.
yeah, no, that'll be super interesting because I've heard, I don't know if you've heard this before, and I don't know if it's true, but is that people that are lactose intolerant, there aren't necessarily lactose intolerant to the milk itself.
Hmm.
They're lactose intolerant to the process that they put the milk through, like
Oh, pasteurizing it and heating.
pasteurizing and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I thought, when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's kind of a trip because everybody thinks that they pasteurize the milk so that you wouldn't be lactose intolerant, but it
Yeah.
may be that it's just the other way around. Is
From
that
from what I understand, it's like since it's such a harder process to actually sell raw milk, right? Because they say, oh, you're not burning off all those bacterias and whatever, right? That's supposedly what pasteurizing, heating up the milk, that's what it does.
Mhm,
Uh, so it's a much harder process, and it has to be even more cleaner process to even get raw milk than the people that the dairy farms that just pasteurize it, because they're relying on the pasteurization to clean up all the junk that's in there. Even if there's feces in there, they're hoping the heat kills that bacteria. So
mm,
from what I kind of understand, the way they do the raw milk here is a way cleaner process. They clean the cows. They like it's clean, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For having to do that. So that's why I was like, dude, I want to have him on just to kind of talk to him and get people more informed on that, because yeah, I think uh when it comes to the FDA and all that, they give raw milk a bad rap.
rap.
But you
Hmm.
know,
Hey, I
because of
know
that,
that my parents and their parents, that's what they drank. I remember going visiting as a teenager or even younger to Mexico, going to the ranch, and you
mhm,
go to the cow in the morning, you milk the cow, and then you're drinking the milk, and they
yeah,
were nice, healthy, and strong. So I don't know.
yeah. No, I mean that's how you would think, right? That's how it's been done for ages. So must be fine.
Yeah, if it
How,
ain't broke,
don't fix it. How was your weekend?
good, good. We took care of Max, my grandson. We
Oh,
had
okay,
him on Saturday, so we took him to the beach, and it was cool. Had a lot of fun. He's
nice.
he's fun. He's fun to be around with. So um, we had a blast, man. We just went to Santa Cruz and um, went to the beach, spent some time right there, by the waves, and then went on the boardwalk, played some games and stuff like that. And then went back, coming back home, we stopped by San Jose to get something to eat. And I was
Mm,
actually going to say something about this is that, um, where we're from. So
yeah, yeah.
passing by the old neighborhood, passed by a taqueria, Jalisco's, and on a light pole, there was a sticker and it says, I think it said Trump country. I took a picture of it.
Okay.
So if we're seeing that in the hood, the old hood, um, you know, predominantly it's always been Democratic over there. It's like something's happening, man. There's a shift going on. So it was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the other thing, to make it official, you joined Luca. So you know, congrats on that. How do you feel about that?
No, thank you. I feel good. Um, already learning a bunch of stuff. Someone had posted in the chat, an event that was happening that was like LGBTQ, whatever other letters they put on there. Um, and I thought it was pretty cool because they posted it out there and they were going to go to that event, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I saw that they were following, the city's IG, and
Oh,
they're
okay.
the ones posting out there, and I'm like, oh man, so smart, kind of like they're following not the opposition, but the where they would get that um, infiltration, or
Yeah.
manipulation, into the little kids and stuff like that. So I thought it's super clever, man. I thought it was really good, and just in talking with them, already have a good idea or route of um, how to get more involved in the community and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I like it. I like
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Yeah, that was cool to see over the weekend that they posted that. I was like, yeah, that's my bro right there. As I told
Yeah.
him, I was like, you guys got a fighter for sure. So, shout out to Luca, the California team, and just everybody, right? Everybody involved there. Tony Renteria. So he's got his election coming up. I think he's on
May
the fourth, right?
4th. Hmm.
Fourth. So hopefully all goes well with his mayoral run. Um, but yeah, shout out to everybody at
Yeah.
Luca.
No, it's
Uh,
exciting.
mhm.
Even then, after me, they announced, I want to say about 3 or 4 more people that
Yeah.
joined.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's catching fire. There's
Yeah.
like-minded people out there, God fearing. So
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
I think they need more people in Northern California, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got to
We'll
see
get
where.
there. We'll
Yeah,
get there.
we'll throw Christian in there.
Yeah, we got to jump him in though, since he's so close.
No, shout out to Christian. Christian couldn't be on today. He's got some stuff to take care of. Um, but yeah, man. There's been a couple interesting things, right, popping up. We were kind of texting about it earlier with the protests, and then the what is it, AstraZeneca? I think I'm
Hmm.
saying that right. How they're going through a action lawsuit because of they admitted to their vaccine actually injuring people. Um,
Yeah, they
so
denied it for a long time,
mhm,
downplayed it. They said that it was safer than, there was a higher risk of them having severe harm with COVID-19 than their vaccine. But
mhm,
now the court documents are showing otherwise.
yeah,
And now, we say time reveals everything, the truth
mhm.
comes out. So now it's revealing that it actually is affecting people. And have you seen some of those videos of the blood clots that they're taking out of people?
I seen some like a few weeks ago. It was like I think it was someone's, I want to say, heart, and it just looked like a long white string. Whatever they were pulling
Yeah.
out, it just kept coming out. I was like, geez,
That doesn't
Louise.
even look, I mean, I think a blood clot, I'm like, oh, okay, a little blood clot, like a dark, like maroon or dark
Mhm.
red, like little,
Like a dry blood type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
And this thing, they're like strands of just red and white. I don't even know what that is.
yeah. That I
It's like
have
a
no
buildup.
clue.
It's a buildup of something. I don't even. I mean, obviously, we're not doctors or anything like that, but that's not what I picture a blood clot looking.
Yeah,
It
yeah. I
looks like
mean,
a string cheese, like
yeah. It
in
just
your
keeps
veins.
coming, like it's melted, and you're just pulling that cheese out. Um,
It's
yeah, it's
insane.
wild. It's wild. So there, and that's something that, like, how we say validation. Uh, we've talked about before, and you've said it before too. It's like the only way we're gonna get back at these people if there is a class action lawsuit. And I think where that's at right now is I want to say in England is where
Hmm.
they're
Yep.
they're actually uh handling that lawsuit right now. But I mean, you know, it's gonna set precedents because it wasn't just people in England taking that damn shot. You know,
Hmm.
there was a lot of people that were, for whatever reason, they took it, right? Some people took it out of fear of the sickness, because so many media, everybody was pumping in that fear. um People took it because they didn't want to lose their jobs, so it wasn't so much fear of the sickness, but more fear of getting by and not losing their job. So you know it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I mean, the fact that they admitted that it does potentially cause that, I mean,
That's
that's,
huge.
I don't, what else do you need, right? I don't care if
Another
it.
conspiracy
uh,
theory turned into conspiracy fact.
yeah.
Check that one.
How many checks we got so far?
I don't
And
know.
it's like, I don't know, maybe the people that aren't fully aware or whatnot, we might sound crazy. We might sound like, yeah, like you said, right? We ain't doctors. Uh but dude, it's just seeing what's out there, right? The media isn't reporting on this, but like social media, the positive of social media is you can see all these things that go unreported. Somebody is reporting it, and you'll see it, right? um even with like, just real quick to the protests, right? um Not a lot of major media companies were really covering it at the beginning. um and now kind of things gotten out of hand, and now you see more media showing up, right? So basically, to my point is, not everything that we talk about might be like mainstream, but doesn't mean that we're not correct either, or that we haven't done enough looking into something to say, okay, make up my mind, and you know what, this is what I believe because I see all this happening. You know what I mean? So
Well, I
that's what it
think the way
takes.
that I would put it is that there's a lot of misdirection going out there. It's like, look at this, and then they're doing something else with the left hand type of thing. And there's multiple agendas, going on. So whatever, this is the way that I look at it. Whatever is happening mainstream media right now, that's what the distraction is. So, here's the new shiny thing that I want you to pay attention to. Don't pay attention to
Hmm.
everything else that's happening over here. So, um, we talked about 2024 being just super crazy,
Hmm.
and it's living up to it. It's just been there's so many things that we can't even no one could actually talk about everything in 1 hour, 2 hours, or anything like that. It would be like a full-time job just trying to keep up with everything that's happening
Hmm.
right now, currently, like real time.
Yeah.
Israel, you know, um,
Ukraine.
Ukraine. There's too many things, man. There's just too many things. So, talk about distractions. Is that all of this stuff is happening with COVID? There's a lot of admissions happening now about you know the vaccine causing harm and stuff like that, and there's all these other things going on, and they want to distract us from you know that it's big news, man. I
Yeah.
don't I was getting a haircut the other day, and the lady that was cutting my hair, it's become a topic that people want to talk about now because they
Hmm.
go, we're talking about COVID and being sick and stuff like that, and no one's wearing masks anymore because everybody just understands that you have the flu or a cough or whatever it may be. And she started talking about some young guy at 42 years old, heart attack
Hmm.
out of nowhere. She cut his hair. He'd been going to her since he was in high school. And healthy guy, you know, not out of shape or anything like that. 42 years old.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
had some sort of major heart attack or something like that,
Yeah.
and that was it. Then she starts naming off and counting how many people she knows that got sick from it and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, holy smokes! They deal with people all day, every day.
Yeah.
So and they've known people for a very long time. So she's just started going off, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, she took that red pill. She knows what's going on. So
And that's the thing too. It's like for a lot of people, right? Um, whether you want to like if they want to believe us or not, it's like something that you just said was there's a lot of younger people of 30s, 40s. That's not old. Because I'm in that range. 30s, 40s, it's not old. And you have people having heart issues, and people that seem very healthy out of nowhere start having heart issues. And I'm sure there's people out there that know someone now that all of a sudden has this random, you know, something random just popped up,
complication or whatever. Yeah.
complication after after COVID and after the
Hmm.
vaccine and all that. So you know what I mean? It just some things just you got to put them together, right? So you know, some of the people are asking in the chat this shirt, We the Parents. It's officialpatriotgear.com. Got it on the ticker down there. If you use LFM 2024, you get 10% off. So that's where I got this shirt. So there's some people asking where I got it. Um,
Be the
but yeah,
parents. I
um,
like it.
yeah, no, they have some nice gear. Um, but yeah, man. So I'm that kind of goes into the hope of everybody, people here and there that are on the fence or have been waking up. Just another thing to look at, right? What people around me who's gone through things that just don't make sense. So I think
Yeah.
that's one way to look at it. If you don't want to just kind of be all conspiratorial or however you think it might be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we're getting to a point where, conspiracy theorist doesn't have that negative connotation to it anymore because they're, it's all coming true now anyways. So it's almost like if you're not a conspiracy theorist, like you're in the minority now. And
Mm-hmm.
by definition, you know, conspiring, you and I can have a conversation and plan something and we're conspiring to do something. So it's kind of weird that they would put a negative connotation to it anyways, but whatever.
Yeah, dude, wordplay, right? We talked about it before.
Hmm.
That's
They're
all it is.
wordsmiths.
Yeah. So, you know, um, man, the the protests and all that stuff. Like overall, how do you feel about it? Like what's been going on and all that.
Number one, I feel like it's orchestrated. Of course, they're conspiring. Uh, um, I believe they're being funded. I don't think it's grassroots. I think it's the BLM forces, Antifa forces, just in a different costume right now.
Hmm.
Um, there's been reports that those people are not even students there or even local there in the community.
Hmm.
Almost like, when Antifa was being bussed in when they were having protests and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and I think authorities are standing down on purpose. I don't know who's giving them who's making the calls, who's calling the shots in regard to that.
Hmm.
But we can play that phone call of that parent calling the UCLA.
What's up, Gio? Yeah,
Oh, guys.
I'll pop it on right now. Um, just so people kind of get an idea, right? Let me see.
I got it ready to go right here too. If you
Oh
want.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, play yours because I think yours, like you said, has more
It
context.
starts
So
from the beginning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
I was able to
So
hear it.
this is a concerned parent calling the university right here.
I'm trying to report my kid is not able to get into the library. They are bombarding him and not allowing him to get into the library, citing the need for some wristbands. Did UCLA issue wristbands to people? Okay, so what should he do? Because he can't enter the library, he can't enter his classes. They said because he's Jewish, he cannot enter that area and that they won't issue him a wristband. Right. So are the protesters allowed to not allow a student who pays tuition access to their class in the library? No, they are barricading every area for him to get into. And you know, with all due respect, why is that even tolerated? Like, why should a Jewish kid have to go to another entrance? So the university has taken a stance that they will not, in fact, allow or help Jewish students get to their classes. That this is going to be tolerated. And what is, at what point, have they given a directive to you at what point you should intervene? Okay, is there anything we can do as concerned parents about? Sure. Yeah, could you give me that number? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, lastly, just so I know, at what point does UCPD get involved? Because my child's safety. So I'm calling and saying he needs police assistance to get into his class, that people aren't letting him into his class. So if he physically gets attacked, at that point, we should contact you. So you're allowing the protesters to block the Jewish students. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
So you tell me, are they being allowed to do that? Are the police standing down?
Yeah. Well, like you said, someone had to give that order, right? For police to not be involved when there's obvious chaos going on. You know, people. That blows my mind, right? Because it's like it's probably the same people that cry about racism and xenophobia and all this other bullshit. Yet, you know, when they're out there protesting, they do the exact same thing, right? It's like this thing, the one that you shared with me.
Oh, that one. Okay, I was gonna say that's funny, but it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
But watch, put it up, and it's like, so they're creating a border and building a wall for the little zone that they're creating right there.
Yeah. So it says from End Wokeness, it says every time the woke left builds their own commune, the very first thing they do is immediately enact border security. Really makes you think.
You can't make this up.
Dude, this is what
And
is it
that's
saying? It's
all.
funny because it's true.
I mean, it's all you have to know. I mean, just read it, look at it. It's like
Yeah,
it's it's comical.
yeah, man.
From a parent standpoint, like the concerned mother that was calling in to get help for her son, the student that she had go in there. Um, what's really bad on the school's standpoint, and I had to look this up, the cost, the tuition to go to UCLA. You would think like, well, why is the mother so concerned? It's our American right to protest. But as a parent, as somebody who has to pay for their kid to go to college, or even if the student's gonna pay for it themselves, right, out of pocket, the cost to go to UCLA for California residents, and I looked this up. This is on the UCLA website. If you live uh, at the UCLA resident halls, it's $42,000 a year for a California resident. If you're in an off-campus apartment, it's 43,000. Now that's a California resident. There's people that live outside of California that would like to go to UCLA. As a non-California resident, there's a supplemental tuition, so an addition because you're from out of state. The total is $76,000 to go to school. And you think about that as a parent when your kid is not able to go to class. What are you paying for?
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know? And
that's.
it's not just one student. All the students are affected.
Hmm.
Right? And what about all the state funding or the federal funding that's going to that? As citizens, like, shouldn't we be concerned that there's students at a public, well, it's not a public college, right? But it's a state college. Shouldn't we be concerned about that?
Yeah, I mean, and imagine all the like kind of like you mentioned all the all the young adults there getting into student loan debt. You know what I mean? That they're gonna struggle with, when they're out of college to pay to
Yeah,
put up with this. I mean, it's it's such a level of unfairness because like we said, man, protesting, if you're gonna protest, fine. You know what I mean? It's your First
it,
Amendment
But
right.
there's certain ways of protesting. So you don't
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
right to, block or barricade or block an entryway, block a street or anything like that.
Hmm.
So, everybody knows that if you're gonna have an event, you gotta get permits and
permit.
whatnot, right? So
Hmm.
how does this they're breaking the rules. If you look up the rules for the universities, they have their own police, they have their own rules and regulations and things that you have to follow. They are not following them. You're
Yeah,
you're
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 you're both right. There's rules that have to be followed. At the same time, yeah, it is the protesters' right to protest. And unfortunately for the students of UCLA, I mean the students that want to learn, and the parents that are paying for tuition, um, there's people there that are breaking the law and causing, to me, it's a level of havoc, right?
Hmm.
Like you saw yesterday videos of people getting beat up. Um, that we saw. I know you mentioned Anthony earlier. Anthony Kawasa, Informed with Anthony. He was there, and I'm not sure if you announced what happened with him.
No, I haven't. I have the video of him when he got surrounded and all that, and that's kind of what Danny's saying. Like you protest, follow the rules. Like once you start gathering around people and fucking surrounding somebody, like that's a whole other issue. And I don't know, man. In some cases, you should be prepared to get slapped the fuck up. I don't
No,
know.
seriously, and it's as somebody on the other side, the person that's taking the beating, it's
Hmm.
traumatic. Like you might be afraid to go out to public places after a situation like that. How much therapy are students going to need? Even the students, I mean, imagine being 18, 19 years old again, and there's a riot going on right outside your window.
Hmm.
You know, there's a level of trauma there.
Yeah,
And all
but
you're
like,
trying to do is go into a library. It's
hmm,
like
Yeah,
no one wakes up, preparing for that. And look, I'm gonna read it right now. So, First Amendment provides that Congress make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. It protects freedom of speech, the press, assembly, and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. So, um, there has to be some sort of order. You can't just run rampant and
hmm,
start doing, impeding people from entering their workplace, home, school, or whatever it is. And that's what you're starting to see right now. So they were impeding these people, from going into a library, attending their classes. When they lay down in front of the streets, blocking traffic, they're impeding people from going to work, going to
what if
school,
you got an important
an
appointment with the
emergency,
doctor? Yeah.
their kids, picking up their kids. I mean, there's so many, going to the doctor.
Hmm.
There's so many things. And there's a certain way that you can protest, and those are the rights that you're afforded. But just because you're in on one side of the team doesn't give you a green light to do whatever the heck you want to do.
Hmm.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that's what seems to happen. I don't know who shared something, but there was some protesters actually went out, and it was kind of like a pro-life march protest in front of Planned Parenthood.
Hmm.
And guess who showed up? The police with riot gear and everything, and got them moved right away.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you see the difference, you see the contrast,
Hmm.
you know? It's
Yeah.
like you're on one side of the team, green light, you could do whatever you want.
Hmm.
You're on the other side of the team, oh, law enforcement, the rule of law
Hmm.
is split second.
Yeah. And if you
So,
don't pick a team, you're also you're also the bad guy.
well, we kind of talked about this earlier too, is that so how do you combat this?
Hmm.
I believe that they all, at the end of the day, they want violence. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree
They
with
want a
that.
confrontation. They want something juicy that they can, say, look at these violent people. These people are peacefully protesting, and the right wingers or conservatives, are going batshit crazy.
Hmm. And I think it's two things that go into this. Is kind of going back to the age of a lot of these people that are there, right? They're 18, 19, 20 years old. They're very young. So whoever's organizing this knows exactly the type of person they need to they need to basically enact these sort of protests and all this chaos, right? Um and the second thing, oh man, I lost my train of thought. So the first thing is their age. The second thing was, ah, where was I going? Now I'm getting old, bro. Damn. Fuck, I feel
Shoot,
like
no,
Joe
you're
Biden.
not. No, you're not.
Joe Biden.
Fuck. Um,
No, you're good.
it'll come back to me right now. But that
Yeah,
was
but look, and let's talk about, is this grassroots or is this something that's being orchestrated? It
mhm.
looks very similar to what was that thing that they were building over there in Washington?
Seattle
Yeah,
Chad,
Chaz.
autonomous zone or
Chad.
whatever they were calling it.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, I brought this up earlier, is that there was a lot of reports of, these protesters being bussed in. And there's a lot of reports about these protesters right here, not being students or even being part of the community. And I think they took a picture. You might be able to look it up, but they took a picture of someone. It was a female that was deported for being a terrorist.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
you saw that?
yeah,
And she's camping out in one of these universities
Mm,
or schools. So
yeah.
just start put the pieces together. You said it earlier when we were talking about this earlier in the day, is that the emotions,
Mhm,
they want those juices flowing. They want emotions to start boiling over. You know, us start reacting a certain way, start
yeah.
saying certain things, start
It,
picking sides.
mhm,
So let's go. Okay, so let's talk about picking sides. I'm gonna tell you which side I'm gonna pick on who the authorities that are allowing this to happen. Forget the protesters, forget the
mhm,
students. I'm going straight for the people responsible allowing this to happen.
mhm. Yeah. Those. Yeah.
and
And
and,
And
and
I,
and and why do they do it? Like why do they go out and burn things and tear up the school and start like a quote unquote riot? You know, it's they're so accustomed to getting that attention, right?
mhm,
So they have this purpose that they think they're trying to serve, like uh, stopping the war with Palestine. Well, one, they probably don't even really understand what's going on.
have you
You know,
seen the clip where they walk up to people and they ask them, "Why are you here?" And
yeah,
they're like, "Oh, we're
yeah.
they have no idea.
protesting."
They had no
They
idea.
they know nothing about it.
They don't know what's going on. But they're there to add chaos to get attention.
They're agitators.
Mhm,
That's all they are, is agitators.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And you're right. It's like who do we point the fingers at? You know, the protesters, they're just young kids. They're dumb. Let's just be honest. Most of them are dumb. They don't know why they're there.
mhm,
But it's the school that's allowed them to be there, or the authorities, the police that didn't show up for
mhm,
hours. I don't know if they ever showed up, but they were talking about 3 hours in that we're saying that there's still no police here. Why
mhm,
not?
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, something that I heard. Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
No, I was just gonna say it kind of goes back to the point I was saying about it's the age, man. Like you get young kids, they're not informed. They're probably at that age range. That's as emotional as you get, right? Any little thing that you feel disrespects you or your beliefs, like yeah, you're gonna be an angry kid. And part two of what I was thinking too was we live in a society without fucking consequences. So
Well, it's
that's how
becoming more and more that, yeah.
yeah, and that's how these people are these young kids are used to that. So they've seen previous 2020, there was no consequences for all that happened. That stuff in Seattle, I don't remember seeing any
Well, let's
consequences for that.
clarify that if you're on that side, there's no consequences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you're on
If
this side, you get yeah. it,
you get
it,
the
it just
book thrown at
you
you,
know what
you
it
get
is though. So they're on the side that gets the pass,
hmm
and that's what they're used to.
they
So
got their hall pass. You could do whatever you
that's
want.
yeah, that's why they do all this stuff. They're young, they're dumb, and there's no consequences.
But let's go back to the organizers. They don't, because they're young and dumb and they don't even know what they're
That's a target.
protesting about. Who are they getting the direction from? Is the question. You see what I'm saying? You're making the point even stronger, is
Mhm,
that young and dumb don't even know why they're protesting. Why are they there? Who called them out to be there?
mhm.
You know?
And
So
that's
it goes back to what I was telling you guys, is that bust in, who's funding them, because some of these, remember when they were like Craigslist ads that were looking for protesters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
So this is like 100% aligned with that type of stuff.
Hmm.
You pay them a couple of bucks to go out there and just agitate, um they'll go out and do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
So
And
the majority of them are just there acting as protesters, right? They're
mhm,
just chanting. They really don't know why they're there. They're just saying what the
they're
leaders of the
told.
protest are saying,
mhm,
right? So and you're probably right. A lot of them are probably just collecting a quick check, but there are the ones that are cross that line and start
Oh
hitting
no,
people.
there's definitely, you've got the leaders. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, and if the police authorities, whoever, we're doing what they're supposed to do, it's like, yeah, go protest. But like the guy you see walking in with the metal pipe, you know what I mean? Hold on,
That's
what
not
are you doing?
protest.
That's not protesting. You lock him up. Everybody that wants to be extreme is gonna out themselves, and the authorities know. Okay, I'm gonna go arrest this guy, because again, protesting. You believe in something, you want to protest, fine. Protest peacefully, real
Look,
peaceful fucking protest, not that 2020 version.
yeah, you look at the rules for the campuses. I'm sure it says no violence. I heard someone on a podcast, kind of read the rules. It's like no camping, no violence, and stuff like that. And it's like that's what you're seeing. They just broke the rules right out the gate. It's like, where are the consequences? Just break it up. And that's who we have to hold accountable. Forget the protesters. If I'm a student, I'm like, I see that, and I'm I'm like, I'm turning around and I'm going back the other way, and I'm like, you know, I'll get someone involved that is gonna talk to, the school and correct it. If I'm a student, I'll tell my parent that's paying my damn tuition,
Mhm.
hey, they're not allowing me to go over there, and you guys are paying for it. And I'm pretty sure the parents are going to be pretty damn heated. And you get however many students are being affected, and you get all of those parents calling in, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen.
Mm.
And with all of the tuition that you just mentioned, Gio, they also, there's funding. They get donations. I heard that there's Muslim organizations, and nothing bad against Muslims or anything like that, but we're talking about protesters against Israel and Palestine, which are the majority are Muslim. They get a lot of, they get, the Muslim community donates billions, from what I heard, to the universities.
Mm.
And then you have
Pay to play.
that type of influence going on too. So there's so many things that we don't even know about. That's why we just have to go to the root cause, is that who's allowing this to happen?
Mhm.
And I hope people are paying attention. I hope people are paying attention, and maybe if their kids were thinking about going to UCLA, they'll tell their kids, like, think about something else. Like, go to community, because there's no way I'm gonna pay that amount of money to send you to a school that's gonna put you in danger. And parents that are sending their kids there, I hope they're calling the school and asking for a refund. I know I mentioned this earlier when we were talking with each other. Like, they should ask for refunds. And if the school had to process refunds, $1 million, it would only take 24 parents to call and ask for refunds for California residents. For non-California residents, 13 students. They would have to issue 13 refunds to affect $1 million towards UCLA. I mean, to me, $1 million is a lot of money. I don't know to the administration at UCLA, but a million is a lot. 13 students. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question for parents to be like, nah, I mean, I understand we're already getting into May and this year's almost over, but no, you're going to refund me because you put our students in danger.
Mhm.
Like, what are they learning that you have students out there acting a fool like that?
Yeah, well, hopefully they do the right thing, and start really holding the schools accountable here, or you know police. I don't know how they function, if city police can't go in there, or it has to be campus police that kind of um holds the law down over there. But
Mhm.
yeah, I hope they target, you know their frustration at the right people there. That's the only way that it's going to be done. And that's why I always keep mentioning is that um, with these big corporations that we see as invincible and too big that no one can take them down, that's the only way is if people react the proper way and go after them like in a class action lawsuit or something like that, because one person alone isn't going to be able to take down big corporations, um, or big companies. It's gonna be a collective effort, and it has to be something like a class action lawsuit. So that's why when I heard about that class action lawsuit in Europe with the vaccines, that's exactly what needs to happen, man. That's exactly what needs to happen, and that's the type of mentality that we need to have, not just to get freaking happy lawsuit happy or anything like that, but when it's deemed and they deserve it, that's the type of approach that everybody needs to have. So I think it's gonna happen. There's a bunch of it's like it's raining red pills. You know, it, it's
I hope it does happen. I mean, I don't have any sympathy for the pharmaceutical companies. I know that there's people that need certain medicines, and they do a certain level of good, but there's also a huge level of bad, and COVID is the prime example of when we allow pharmaceutical companies to have too much power, and good on Europe for doing that. Unfortunately for us in the US, they passed laws that pretty
they're
much
protected.
protect the pharmaceutical companies, and it's why? For
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
That's
but you know what the good
need
thing
some
is?
better leadership too to fight that shit.
There you go. The good thing is that with the right leadership in place, we can take away those protections. There's already talks about taking away those protections. So as long as those pieces continue to get put in place, we'll take away those protections. Why do they have protections? Think about that. Is that how I sound like a broken record, but it's like a good business. There's going to be supply and demand. You're going to be profitable. You're going to be successful, and you don't need any protections, do you? If you have a good
Exactly.
product and you're
Exactly.
ethical, right? If you're if you have a bad business, if you have a bad product, it's hurting people, and you want to be successful, you're going to need some protections, because without the protections, no one's going to consume your product, no one's going to buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to go bankrupt. You're going to go out of business.
And
So,
and that's the key, like you said, it's about being ethical. And I just want to put this seed out there if anybody wants to go after them, but why is nobody talking about these people in the media and the news organizations that were convincing people to go out there and get the shot, making people feel like stupid for not wanting to get the shot, or pinning them against people that weren't taking the shot, right? Go
Mm-hmm.
out there and challenge your family because they're not vaccinated and they're going to kill you. Not necessarily those words, but they made it seem like that to convince people. And I'm waiting for the day for somebody to go, you know what? I'm
hey,
going to sue CNN because they convinced me to get the shot. They told me every day that it was necessary.
you know what the big secret is? They're getting sued left and right for false information. People just don't even
They
know it.
probably are.
Mm-hmm.
They are. No, it's a fact. That's one of the red pills that I took with George Zimmerman way
That's
back in the
good.
day.
That's what they
Is that
get.
they edited his phone call, the 911 phone call, to make him seem like if he was racist.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that he won that, sued the crap out of him, but no one knew. It was a little tiny article that I just happened. I don't know. I don't even know how I stumbled upon it in a newspaper of all
You're
things.
right. You're right. I remember the one with the kid
Mm-hmm.
that was
Trayvon.
smiling with the no, the one where
Oh,
the
which one?
the Native American guy was doing his
Oh yeah,
ritual,
he won
and
too.
the little kid was
Sandman.
just smiling there,
Yeah.
and
Nick
they
Sandman.
completely trashed him. What
Yeah.
was his name?
I think Nick Sandman. I think
It
something
was,
Sandman.
yeah, something like Nick
Hmm.
Sandman. Yeah,
And he
and the
sued.
kid
He
and the kid
sued
sued them
too.
and won. Won big time.
Oh, he won.
Not only one, multiples.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
good for him.
good for him. He got
Mhm.
paid.
Good for him. But
He
nobody
also-
Hey,
talks about
but
it.
you know what?
It's like you said, it's a little article, like a little apology.
Mhm.
yeah,
Little tiny. I wouldn't
Oops.
even call it a redaction, but
Yeah, it's fine print. Oops. That's it.
Mhm.
but no, I mean they are. But you know what? Nancy gave us the formula. She already says that they're conspiring. They're working together. You
Mhm.
know, they go up on a podium. They say what they were gonna say. The media regurgitates it, and
Mhm.
then it goes out to the masses, and it becomes the truth, and it does its job.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
I,
they
and
already
I,
gave us their game plan.
exactly.
it's
I have to
on.
reconnect here. My iPad's about to die, but I'll reconnect in 2 minutes.
All right.
Mhm.
No, but what you're talking about, Danny, it's like on Instagram. We have that clip posted. It's on
Yeah,
there.
we do. Yeah, yeah,
It's on there twice. We posted it twice. Very important. It's in English directly from her, and in Spanish directly from her. So if you don't believe us, you can hear it straight from Pelosi in two languages. So that's what they do. They conspire with the media to take down those they don't agree with, and that's just that's the truth. That's what they do.
yeah,
And it comes down to a lot of it is accountability, right? Media being accountable for what they're doing, the lies they're spreading, the misinformation. Politicians also, they have to um, be accountable for their part in all this, right? Especially when it comes to vaccine injuries, the pharmaceutical companies, corporations. There's a lot of people that, like I was saying earlier, just felt pressure from all kinds of different directions. And you know, the sad part is a lot of people are suffering through some things because of that, and it
yeah,
sucks because you know that's what it was in 2020. It was all about fear and kind of like Joe said, right? Pinning people against each other and separating families. And man, that's crazy, dude. It wasn't even long ago, and that shit lasted like 2 years. You know what I mean? All the fear tactics and all that. It's you know, I hope
yeah.
people
A
don't
lot of
forget
us got a
that.
lot of gray hair during that freaking mess. It's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure, a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you think about the effects. So we just think about like the lockdowns, losing jobs and stuff like that. But like if you really sat down and you started, putting a pen to pad and
Mm-hmm.
writing down the way that it affected people, is that, I don't know if you knew this, but the, the times during stress, there's the divorce rates go up, issues happen, um, and it really starts affecting a lot of people's different aspects of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 2008, I remember in that crisis, so many people got separated, so many people had so many issues going on and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you could take it back to, you know, COVID too. Um, it's insane if we just really think about it and look at all the different levels that it affected people. But we're kind of going negative here, but you know, one of the things that I found funny is, the barrier that you showed up at,
Yeah, yeah.
that they're creating. It's like they don't want border, they don't want a wall at the border or anything like that, but they're creating a border and they're putting up a wall, and then they're
And
giving
they're
people
and enforcement.
wristbands. They're vetting people before they get in there and stuff
ID
like that.
identification.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
like,
It sounds an awful lot like the border, doesn't it?
yeah, But you know what? I'm gonna agree with them. I'm gonna go. You know what? If you want to create your own little Chaz, your own little safe space, it's all good, man. You block it off. You know, vet the people before they go in. Make sure you're safe. You're right, 100%. I agree with them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Naturally, it's what you do in a community, right? That you create. You want to protect it.
yeah.
Why can't we do that with the country?
I had an argument with not an argument, but a discussion with someone a long time ago, before even freaking COVID actually. And I was talking to him, and I was talking about the border and stuff like that. And then and I gave him the example. I'm all, just imagine, you're at your house and you just have your door unlocked and people can walk in and stuff like that. And he's like, don't put those um restrictions on me, or whatever word he used. He's like, I don't want to live in these false narratives that you're confining me into and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I'm trying to give you like I'm trying to break it down to your
So
everyday life, how it would affect you if someone just showed up and walked into your home and stuff
yeah, you're
like that.
pretty much breaking it down to a way that he could understand why you feel the way that you do, not about his house, but about our country.
Yeah,
Isn't it the
I mean,
perfect
this is.
analogy?
Mm-hmm. And people, it's so funny, and the reason I bring it up is because they don't want to be questioned, or asked about certain scenarios and stuff like that when it doesn't benefit them, but they'll put you in their little box so that you have to understand what they're trying to tell you, what they're feeling and stuff like that. And the hypocrisy, especially with that picture right there, it's all we can do is just laugh, really.
Yeah. And in case you missed it, this is what we're talking about.
You know,
Have you guys read what that sign says?
which one? On the one on the right?
Let's see.
The one on the right. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the liberated zone. Make sure you make sure to talk to one of us before entering.
They
You
got
got
their own board. They got their own border patrol.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. The People's Republic of Capitol Hill on the other one. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's they don't
It's
they
it's
don't realize
astonishing to
it,
me
right?
that this isn't just happening at UCLA. It's happening at universities across the
Everywhere.
country, and some states are not allowing it. Like
Go to
Florida is not
Florida.
allowing it.
Go to,
Texas has not allowed it. Have you guys seen the video with the Texas? I think it was like a Texas Ranger that picks up the student and just carries them
oh
away.
yeah.
And in the
Yeah.
background, you see tents and stuff. It's like they're doing it across the whole country. Like, where are they getting
Mm.
these tents from? Like, I don't just have a tent in my garage.
Tents are expensive, dog.
Dude,
Shit.
they're expensive. Yeah. I mean, unless
Yeah.
you want like a two sleeper, these aren't two sleeper tents. These are like five families.
Yeah.
You can put a air mattress in these
Expansion.
babies.
These are not tents when we were kids where you barely fit in there. These are like you could walk around in there. There's different rooms in there.
They got tarps on the floor. I don't know where these people learn to camp, but they know what they're doing.
Dude, when it
What do
comes
they call that? Glamping?
to
Glamping.
that's been one of my questions even before this, like with homeless people. Some homeless people I see out there got some big ass tents. And then I think, like, when did we go camping? Like 2 years ago
Mhm.
or last year? I forget when we went. And I had to buy a tent, right? Because now it's the before we went camping, it was only 3 of us. Now it's 4 of us. So it's like, okay, we need a bigger one. And they were expensive, man. But it's like, but then like I swear I bought it. It was like $200, right? And it's like, all right, well, whatever, we need it. We're gonna go camping. I swear, dude. Like the next day in an encampment, I saw that same tent like twice. And I go, who the how, how do these people get this? And
You should have walked up to him and said you're welcome because we're paying it with our tax dollars.
I know, damn. But no, this is like you said, man. This is all organized. There's somebody else that's definitely pulling strings on this, and you know, obviously, I think whoever's doing this, um, can see the writing on the wall, man, and they have to stir up chaos. You know what I mean? They have to make it so, like we talked about it before. Something's got to happen this year, right? Something's got to happen to distract people. And I posted a clip of Andy Frisella, and he was talking about how even for Democrats, it's the lowest approval for their own party.
Mhm.
So it's like they gotta distract people any way they possibly can. And we got this going on. Like you said, the
Mhm.
border stuff. We got things all over the place.
I
And
read an article, and of all places, I found this article on Yahoo. I didn't find this through Fox News or anything. I found it on Yahoo's homepage. Led me to an article that was talking about, um, with all the current events, Trump's numbers are, he's actually gaining on Biden. The only area that Biden is still leading is with like the white population. Everybody else is jumping on to the
Mhm.
Trump wagon.
Oh, he lost him.
Yep. Done.
But no, he's making a valid point. It's I think a lot of the white population is like that still votes for Biden is probably the ones that feel guilt or have been guilt tripped into, you know what I mean? Thinking they have to vote that way because Trump's a racist. So, you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
the people I think the people that still are riding with Biden, I think that's their you hear it. Hillary talks about it all the time. Trump's racist. Trump just wants to be a dictator.
I think that's over and done with. I think I in my neighborhood there's only one house that has like a bumper sticker that says Biden on it, man.
And
And
she
yes,
goes
they happen to be
cover it in the
Caucasian,
middle of the night.
but I don't I don't know. I just don't see it. Hey, look, bottom line is that yes, those polls, show Trump gaining in all kinds of different areas.
Mhm.
But I think there's more to it, because there has to be some demographic age group or a certain area where they pull that number from. Because I see Trump country all over. I told you guys,
Mhm.
I kind of felt stupid for saying it in the beginning, but I really did feel like it is like, I think it's gonna be like over 100 million that he's gonna get, as far as votes go. And
And,
to
and I'm
Gio's
hearing it. I'm
point, it's
hearing it
getting
from
even.
places that I wouldn't even expect.
Yeah.
Like people will like, like 4 years ago, 8 years ago, when people were like on the Trump wagon, it would be like a little dog whistle, like, hey, like what, it's crazy what's going on at the border, huh? Or it's crazy what, but now it's like everybody's doing their little, because they call them dog whistles. Like when you say something to see what somebody
The
else's reaction
reaction.
is,
Hmm.
and now everybody's doing it. They're like, yeah, man, it's so crazy what's going on with this COVID stuff, or it's so crazy what's going on out here at these schools. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, like, what are you trying to get at? And you start talking with them. People start talking about taxes. People start talking about Gavin Newsom. And I'm just like, man, this is so wild. Like, you know,
It's
it's it's
exciting.
it's it's exciting to see that you guys are all waking up. I've been here. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, you're
Like
late.
I started losing
You're
faith a
late.
little bit. I've been waiting.
It's like
We've all been waiting for you guys.
we've been partying for what, decades? It's like we've been waiting for you. Like, I'm an old man
Seriously.
already. Jeez.
it's
No, but
it's crazy, but it is like you said, it's exciting. It's good to see, like you know, I think, yeah, people are. I've said it before, right? They're coming around to it, and I think the last time, what did I say? 110, 110 for Trump. Uh,
It keeps climbing, Daniel.
it's gonna keep.
You were iffy on 90
I know.
in
I
the
was
beginning.
last time I gave a number, I said 110. Now it's like 110 easy. I feel, um, but again, that goes into. I feel Trump's gonna get that easy, so I think that's why for us it's been important to talk about local stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because nationally, people should already know what's up, right? You just compare. You can compare the two administrations, compare life in both administrations, and you know, to me, that's a no brainer. You know, uh,
Yeah. Hey,
but
can I tell you guys something real quick? And it's
yeah,
a thought that I had, and I've said it before. But going back to the protest and stuff like that, and all the things that they try to make as negatives, so that we could down, right, down and out, is, Daniel, I've said it before, is like those people, allow them to stand up and keep doing what they're doing,
mm-hmm,
as long as people don't really get hurt. I mean, no one wants to see anybody get really hurt, right?
mm-hmm,
But let them act a fool so they stand up on their soapbox and show us exactly who they are. Because you know what? That's incentivizing people, like even me, to say, you know what? I'm going to take this step, and I'm actually going to go out and do something, you know?
mm-hmm,
And I said earlier, they're making it rain red pills. So why make them stop? It's like, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do in behind the doors, and now you're doing it outside the doors, and everybody can see it, and now you're allowing us to clearly see what your intentions are. Thank you, because more people are waking up.
mm-hmm,
And isn't it interesting? You're talking about like it just seems like it's raining red pills, right? But the other side is not slowing down. Like they don't open their eyes and realize, hey, maybe what we're doing is really upsetting people because we're doing something wrong. No, they're doubling down. Did anybody see that in San Diego they want to raise the minimum wage of workers down there to like $25 an hour? Like, what
No, I didn't see that.
what part of this fast food uh, experiment didn't open your eyes to let you know that this isn't working? Okay, you raise the minimum wage at fast food, prices at fast food goes up, and nobody's eating fast food anymore. Now everybody's going to like little local restaurants.
mm-hmm,
Great for local restaurants, but fast food is part of our economy. Like I know there's people out there that are like, oh, awesome, McDonald's is gonna fall, like fail, like good, like we don't need McDonald's. No, that's part of our economy. Burger King, Carl's Jr., these are all part of our economy. We need those restaurants to succeed. They provide jobs, they provide things to the community that people don't see.
Hmm.
And what part of this failed experiment don't the Democrats understand? Like we need to do something and move back to the middle
Well,
where
can
people
I
will want to vote for us.
offer a thought on that? So what if the plan is to fail the economy, fail the country, collapse it?
It must be.
mm-hmm,
What other explanation is there?
There isn't.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
Like
orchestrated. They're taking it down from within. They know that they can't. On a conventional war, it can't happen. So they've infiltrated. It's infiltration from within.
mm,
Look at all these people.
I'm just a normal guy, right? We're just three normal guys on a podcast discussing this. They have all of the resources, they have all of the experts, they have all the financial analysts, all the economists to be able to tell them these are bad ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No, they're
we are
great
going to ruin
ideas
the
to them.
economy.
They're great
Yeah.
ideas to them.
There's no way it's a good idea.
Well,
They
it's a
know what
great
To
they're
idea
them,
doing.
because
dude, have you not heard Bill Gates speak?
No, I don't listen to Bill Gates speak. To me,
What?
Bill Gates was irrelevant when he left Microsoft. I don't understand how his philanthropist lifestyle is affecting our daily lives. Why is he buying things up? He's got all this money. What does he need to do? He's not making he's not doing anybody any good.
yeah, he drinks
All
passion.
these crazy experiments he's doing that are they're actually hurting people. And what does he need all that land for? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right?
Mm.
I'm just
Sounds like you are.
a reality theorist.
There you go.
Just you know what? When people call me a conspiracy theorist, I just say, you know what? Wait
Thank
a
you.
few months. Just wait a few months.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Say thank you.
I appreciate that. Means a lot. But dude, here I'm gonna do the. You guys want to see some gaslighting
Sure.
by your favorite person?
Oh, she's still alive?
She's still kicking. Here, let's see.
Jeez.
And Joe Biden is doing that, created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had
Wait,
the
hold on.
worst
This is
record of
MSNBC?
any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And
I
he
don't
has the
think that
worst.
anybody can accuse me of that.
And Joe Biden is doing that. Created.
That's MSNBC?
Yeah,
Nah, that's Fox News. They edited the logo on there, right?
yeah. She let out a quick little fucking common sense comment.
She's like, damn, I messed up.
No, I mean,
That made too much fucking sense here. Shit.
people know what's going on, right? People aren't stupid. We can't pretend to be ignorant forever.
Well, we're not. I mean, they think that people are listening to them. That's
Yeah.
the part.
Yeah,
I want to
but they're
see.
listening to us. What's up, people?
Sometimes I think, like, how is it that they don't realize that things are still really bad? Okay, all these people have all these jobs. Awesome. I'm happy that people were working. And okay, people lost their jobs during the pandemic, and sure, Trump was the president, whatever. We have to at some point move forward from that, right? I remember that, in 2015, 2016, when Trump was talking about, hey, we're going to boost this economy, they were like, it's impossible. What's he got, a magic wand? There's no way to make it better
Yeah,
than what it is
that
now.
famous line with Obama. He's what's he think? He's got a magic wand?
Yeah, exactly. So and magically, Trump pulls out his golden wand, and the economy is
And smack
booming,
him.
right? And we were booming until I started hearing rumors from China that their economy was going to tumble. There's some real estate issues going on. There's some commercial issues going on, and then all of a sudden, you see videos on this new app called TikTok where people are passing out on the streets. People are filling the emergency rooms. And then people here are getting scared, and we're out going to Costco and buying all the toilet paper, buying all the hand sanitizer. So we went into this pandemic, and who would have thought you shut down the economy and people lost their jobs? Who would have done that math? Shut down the economy, people lose their jobs? That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, you give it time, people are going to start going back to work. I'm happy that people are going back to work. The big problem that we've had in the last 4 years hasn't been that people are not going back to work. It's been the inflation. You have a job and you need to go buy anything at the grocery store. You need to buy eggs. You need to buy milk. It costs substantially more than it did 4 years ago, or 4.5 years ago now. And if you need to buy gas, and it's not just a California thing, but here in California, it's $5 a gallon right now. great thing that we're going into
I
summer
heard
to
in
remind
LA
us how
it's
bad
like
gas is.
$8 in LA or something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure when you go through like Castaic, where it's really expensive up in the mountains, I'm sure it's up there. Um, but it's like good reminders every time we go outside. I don't know what the politicians are thinking, getting excited talking about all these Bidenomics and like you're living under a rock. Somebody's doing the
No,
shopping for you, and you're not seeing the receipts because
they know the truth. That's the thing, is that we have to get to this point, is that they know the truth. Daniel said it when he started playing this. You want to get gaslit? Yeah,
that's
I'm good for
exactly what
some
they're doing.
gaslighting right now. All right.
That's exactly what they're
So
doing.
so people know that they're getting gaslighted now.
Mhm.
They're not fooling anybody. No one is getting fooled anymore. And you know what sucks for them is that when someone wakes up, you can't put them back to sleep.
Mhm.
You can't undo what they've seen. You can't undo what they've heard until that generation cycles out, and then you get the new one, and then you got another shot at it.
Mhm. The
So
best extinguisher for gaslighting is reality.
Exactly. And I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm not I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I am subscribed to a certain party right now because they're more aligned with my values as a Christian, as a father, as a taxpayer. Um, but I'm not this type of person that I am always going to vote this way.
Mhm.
If tomorrow the party that I choose to vote for right now turns around and wrongs me, and the other party turns around and starts to play the a better role, then I would vote for the other party. Or if there was another party, because I don't subscribe to a party. I
Mhm.
vote with my reality, you know, free minds. Uh, I, uh, I won't subscribe to that. But if you remember back in 2016, when uh, when Donald Trump won, there was rumors out there like, "Hey, the Democratic Party is failing." Hillary Clinton just lost. Tulsi Gabbard just left the her position as the one of the party leaders. There's people at the top that are, um, they're finding out all these things that they've been doing, all these email leaks. The Latinos are leaving the party. Black voters are moving to the Republican Party, and it was just little by little, right? Just little by little, and now we're seeing, 8 years later, it's gone so much further, and it's still like they still want to keep it a secret. Like, I don't know, let's keep feeding them these lies, let's keep gaslighting them. But it's like you can't hide this under the carpet anymore. People see it now.
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I was saying, is like in this storm, it's hailing red pills. So I mean,
Exactly.
you got to be inside or something, like under a rock, not to see the reality anymore.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's good. It's all good stuff. Going back to let them stand up and show their true colors. I'm good for that. I agree with that. Let them create their little, what did they call it? Libertarian zone or whatever the hell it is.
Communist zone.
Mm-hmm. And start implementing common sense, rule of law. I'll agree with them. It's like, hey, you keep doing that.
It
I'm gonna remind you is that that's exactly what we're asking for. So
Mhm.
it won't take them long before they start begging for help from the outside,
oh
just like
yeah,
it happened in Seattle. When I think that there was a guy that was shot, and all of a sudden everybody was like, "Oh, we need the ambulance to come in here," and they're like, "Nah, we,
we're not gonna go in
we
there.
don't want
That's
to go
not.
in there. We've seen what
Yeah,
you've been doing to the police officers, and we saw what you did to the police station, and no."
I didn't see too many videos of like the UCLA stuff. I think the stuff that happened like at night when they were like really going off. But I did see, yeah, the guy that got hit in the head with the metal pipe, and it's like hey, bro,
And
that's
nobody saw that pipe going in. Like
that's what I'm
there,
saying.
there
Like,
wasn't there wasn't a cop, like a campus officer or security guard, that was like, huh, there goes a plumber with all this protesting going on. Like, come on, like, what do you need a pipe for? What do you need that to hold your tent up? I don't know.
I don't know, bro. But that's what I'm saying, right? It's not that we're saying that you absolutely need cops at every protest, but once it was shown right earlier in the day, things are getting out of hand. You know what I mean? Once you see that, okay, then you have to make a presence so that it doesn't further escalate into what ended up happening at night. Um, so that's kind of, I think we're all saying is yeah, protest, fine. You're right, do it. But once you start getting out of hand, then the people that should be in there controlling things, once it gets to that point, or even as it starts to escalate to that point, then it is what it is, because you've kind of opened the door for that with your own
Yeah.
actions.
And that's part of being American.
Yeah.
You have the right to protest within the bounds of the law. Have you shown the clip with Anthony Informed with Anthony yet?
No, I'll play it
Because
right.
that video was, to me, it was getting close to that boundary of outside of the law.
Yeah.
And to preface for any and for everybody watching, if you don't know who Informed with Anthony is, he's a media representative. So he'll go in person, boots on the ground to these events, and go live and as a journalist document everything that's going on.
Yeah. And then I was telling Danny at the start of the show, right? I met him this weekend. So I got to
at the Raw Farms.
talk with him. Met his
Shout out
friend.
again to Raw Farms.
Yeah, shout out. Met his wife, his son, his family, dude. And I think for me, that's why, like, I see something like this and it's like meeting his family, it kind of makes you get a little bit more pissed, because he's a good dude. He's just trying to,
And
his
I
thing.
don't know if somebody recognized him there, but he's for the people that have not watched his content, when he goes out live on the streets,
Oh, people know.
he's not an agitator. He
No.
doesn't go out there like, hey, this is, you guys are so stupid, what he's not doing that. He is just, as a journalist, documenting what's going on.
Yeah.
So
and that's one thing I've seen him do, is he'll talk to both sides. He'll attempt to talk to both sides, to be like, hey, I understand why you're here, what's going on. But yeah, this is kind of what they did.
Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me. You're restricting my movement. This is false incarceration. This is false incarceration. I'm allowed to be in here. I'm a journalist, credentialed. Okay, this is public property.
Oh, here we go.
Anthony's a good man, bro.
Well, this is what they do to media. You guys saw that earlier. They let media in there. That's one of the guys, and they allowed them because they said they're part of it. So apparently, no free press here exists.
We don't allow aggressive media.
If you guys push me off, you're fucked.
You're the one surrounding me.
Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me.
You're restricting my movement. This is false.
It's like all these people are coming, right, running in to surround him, but it's like it's one guy with his phone out. What is so bad with that, right? If anything, you'd be like, okay, he's spreading our message out. He's gonna let people know why we're here. Why isn't it a positive thing for you to get your cause out there? You firmly believe in it. Let Anthony ask you questions.
Look at the contrast, is that he's out there, right? No mask. He's not trying to hide his face. And look at these people. First thing they do is, I don't know what that person has over their head. Obviously,
a bandana,
their head.
Fucking COVID mask. He should be home if he's sick.
These people are just straight up trying to hide. And you
super
go
spreaders.
back to what we were talking about, is that you know, if you're ethical, I mean, do you need protections? Do you need to hide from anything?
No, you
No,
don't.
he's not hiding from anything.
Mm,
He's just out there trying to fight the gaslighting with facts, like you guys said earlier.
yeah. Hmm. But yeah, dude, he's. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done.
But he's
And
okay,
and
or
and,
what?
and to go back, it's all part of protesting within the bounds of the law. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
you don't need a mask if you're protesting within the bounds of the law. You're not doing anything wrong.
Hmm.
It's your American right to do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain about it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I text him and he's good. He just he said they stole his he has like a little phone charger, like a battery pack that he connects so his
Mm,
phone doesn't die. So they took that from him. But overall, he was good. And yeah, the police didn't do anything. They just kind of let it happen. So it's like, well, yeah.
wow.
So, but shout out to Anthony. He's out there doing
Boots on the ground.
boots on the ground, right? Um,
Hmm.
shit. Yeah, I think that's why like it was kind of a little bit more like what do you call it? Frustrating seeing that because once you actually get to meet the person, then you go, okay, you know what I mean? You get to
Yeah.
um understand them, what they're trying to do, and he again, he's like you said, he's not hiding himself. He's just there as part of First Amendment. He's got the right to be the press and document the protests that you guys have set up in a pretty public area. So, it's crazy. So,
Hey, let those people stand up and show who they really are. And that's what Anthony's doing too. I think
mhm,
that's part of the purpose is
yeah.
that, you know, if you had some people that actually could have a conversation there, that would be pretty interesting, but
Hmm.
highly unlikely. The
Hmm.
likelihood is that they were going to respond the way that they just did.
Yeah.
And he got caught on camera. And hey, now you can watch it and you can decide if those people align with your
Yeah.
beliefs, morals, and um, all of the above.
Hmm. Because that's what we got to do, right? Have more conversation, even with people we disagree with, um, or don't fully agree with. Like I said, it's like you know, I think it's childish to not do that and just start name calling and start attacking people, right? That's that's how I feel because you know
It's
that's just what
unproductive.
on both
It's
sides
just unproductive.
and both people from both sides of the aisle, so to speak, do it. And it's like, okay, you're no better. Just you know what I mean? Like either one, you're not better than the other one. You're the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so yeah. So whoever wants to come on here and talk, I don't care if you have blue hair. If you're down,
Yeah,
just
blue hair. That's my line though. Purple hair. No, I'm kidding.
if you got purple hair, we gotta put Christian on you. You gotta watch out for that one.
Oh, that's gonna be a shit show. No.
Why are you gay?
That's all it's gonna be. Fucking one question for Peter.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
but no, I mean, yeah, man, it's interesting times. We'll see how things continue to play out. We're in May 1st. We got June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months. Half a year left. Yeah.
Happy year.
Stay
I'm
awake.
I'm I'm just waiting for
Stay
that
woke.
VP. That VP.
All
Who's the
right,
running mate?
all right, fuck it. Well, we'll end it on this. Who do you think it is? Or who do you want it to be? Either or, whatever.
Me first?
Yeah, go.
I want it to be Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
Okay. It's pretty
What
good.
about you, man?
I wanted a Tulsi Trump ticket for years now. When I found out she left the Democratic Party, I was like, she would be an awesome running mate. I even thought if it wasn't for the fact that Trump has been proven,
Mhm.
Tulsi might actually make a good Democratic president. But I think she is very centered. and she'd be a good running mate for Donald Trump.
Okay. You, Danny, do you have anybody?
I don't know. I think Christy Lake is got a strong personality, but I like her style.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would fight a lot of fights for Trump. He wouldn't have to fight all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of sets the tone for other people to come.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Gio's pick too. I mean, if I had to go outside of the Republican Party, I think that would be good too. But um, in the thing that I did like about her is that she did fire back. I mean, what she did to Kamala on some of those debates, that was bomb.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people have been saying. I don't know if you guys watch Petra Bet David, the PBD podcast. He had her on there, and he was like, "Nah, I want that rematch. I want the VP rematch. You and Kamala on stage together.
oh, it was
She's
no
probably
match.
Oh yeah.
She chewed
it's
her
no
up,
match.
spit her out.
You know
Shout
what
out
it is Kamala is spewing out what they've fed her,
Rhetoric. It's
while
rhetoric.
Tulsi is
It's
just
facts.
she just wants to say what she thinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Carrie Lake is a good option. I think she's a fighter, and if it came down to a debate between her and Kamala, I think she would demolish Kamala.
I
Yeah,
think Kamala would hide under the podium.
I think it's pretty hard to lose to Kamala, but that's just an opinion of mine.
Yeah, Kamala loses to Kamala.
I think the only person that loses to Kamala is Mike Pence,
That
Mike
fucking
Pence.
bitch.
especially if she's got a fly on her side.
Yeah, bro.
Come
That
on,
fool,
man.
yeah. That fool, yeah. That dude's dumb. Definitely not him, right? Definitely not Mike Pence again.
Oh, he can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of people think that all of that was orchestrated. It was planned out
mm,
the way that it happened. That's what a lot of people think.
yeah, I don't know.
And
possibly.
some of the points that people make, it's pretty true because you gotta, how we were talking. Sometimes you gotta play both sides,
Mm-hmm.
to get to a certain point.
Right.
Um, I think it was something that had to happen to get to this point,
Mm,
if you know what I mean.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Tulsi, I mean, that's definitely like an interesting, that would be an interesting pick because then you have what all these Democrats go for, right? A minority woman.
mhm.
Yeah.
So, I.
I've
But there's no DEI here. There's, you're good for the job and you get the
yeah.
job and that's it.
I was
She gets
I
points
was
because what she did to Kamala.
Yeah,
That's
those you get points, and
she's
she
up
is
there. She's up
very
there.
smart.
Yeah.
I recommend watching the her session on PBD podcast. It
Mm-hmm.
was really good. And I was surprised that she didn't like push away from the thought of possibly being a running mate with Donald Trump. Obviously, she's on her book tour, so she's gonna go
Pander.
along with the to get along. But
She could come on
a lot of
if
her thoughts
she wants to.
were,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
she can come promote her book right here on LFM
Yeah.
all day.
Or announce her VP, campaign, whatever. It's all good.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, DeSantis went and announced with X, and that didn't work out.
No,
Um,
but
but here on Rumble, if Tulsi wanted to come announce
anything.
her yeah, anything, yeah.
What she's having for dinner? It's like,
She just wants to come on and say aloha.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's a good pick. And I mean, honestly, there's not like
I
who
think
else?
for me, I think of one thing, because a lot of times a VP, in my opinion, they don't do very much. They're there as a backup if something happens with the president. Sure, they do things But
Why
I don't
didn't
want to
they
get
keep
into
Biden alive?
Seriously, nobody wants Kamala.
Mamala.
I, I think that one major bonus of choosing your VP is to bring in voters that you wouldn't normally get.
That's what
And I
it's
think
for.
I think Kerry Lake's voters are already Trump supporters. So I don't know how much that adds to Donald Trump's campaign.
Trying to bridge it,
I
basically.
don't think anybody would add as much as Tulsi Gabbard would.
But this is what I was saying before: is it? He doesn't need that. This is the one guy that doesn't need a
He
vice
doesn't
president
he
to come
doesn't
in.
need it, but if there's one thing I know about Trump is he wants to dominate the election, and as much as he's dominating now, he wants to dominate even more. And if he can if he can win every vote by choosing Kamala, he will do it,
Oh,
right?
Kamala?
Oh, excuse me, not Kamala, Tulsi. Sorry.
How dare you? Disrespectful.
My bad. I'm about to have a bunch of protesters right here outside my house.
He was about to say it.
It'll be Chaz right here in my neighborhood.
But no, we'll see. I think when do they? Well, whenever they pick, you know, it'll be definitely interesting to see where it goes from there. You know, I think Trump is the choice again, even if you don't agree with him 100%. The
I mean,
alternative,
he's the main event. He's the main ticket. Nobody really votes for a VP. And when you look at the main event card, Trump versus Joe Biden, if you're voting for Joe Biden, I don't know what rock you're living under. Like,
No one's voting for Biden. Only dead
stop
people.
stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing's better under Joe Biden.
nope.
Only
Not
dead
even his fake little student loan forgivenesses. He's only forgiving like people that work for the government. He's everybody's like, oh, he's secretly going behind the back, so and forgiving loans. And I look into it and I'm like, yeah, if you work for the government for 10 years, like, dude, they already do that anyways. He's just like pushing
It's the
them to
headline.
process those. It's a headline, exactly. That's all he's doing. People getting more jobs, like, okay, that's what's gonna happen with an economy like ours. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what they are. Is they're feeding us fake news and gaslighting.
Yep. Cool. Well, that was a good one. I'm probably gonna call this one "Raining Red Pills" or something like that, because that's what we're doing here. But thanks for everybody that's tuned in. Follow us everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. We dropped some cool shit. So no, it's we gained a lot of followers with that. Anthony tagged us in a picture. He tagged the LFM on a picture, and it was just like bing, 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 bing. I was like, whoa. So
Is
shout out to
our discount still active
for the
for
shirt?
the Patriot shirts?
Yeah, it's this is where I got this one there. We the Parents. I got it at Official Patriot Gear. You can buy this one. They have the Mexico Patriot, so it's like Patriot with the Mexican flag. Yeah, use the discount LFM.
Yeah, so for our Latino listeners that are Mexican that are planning to go get dual citizenship with Mexico after the president's announcement, you can wear your Patriot gear
Yeah, there
with
you
the
go.
Mexican flag on it.
And it'll have the American
with the American flag on the arm.
Here. Son.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go pick one up. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace be with you.
Peace be with you.
Peace.